Most retirees cling to their homes for security. I didn't. I sold mine, moved into an apartment, and parked my equity somewhere safe. And now everything about retirement feels different. If you're new here, I retired last year with about $500,000 saved, and I've been sharing how I manage my portfolio, cover my expenses, and create flexibility in retirement. Lately, I've been getting a flood of questions. Mostly, did I just ruin my retirement? So in this update, I'll show you where my portfolio stands, how I'm keeping my income flowing. I'll also answer your biggest questions about my latest move. But here's the twist. I thought that a year of renting would feel like limbo, but what's actually happened has completely surprised me. I'll share what I've learned and why it might change how you think about renting in retirement. All right, let's jump into the numbers. Here's where my accounts stand right now. My money market has $30,324. After-tax brokerage is at $110,936, and that includes the $90,000 from my home sale that's parked in a CD, earning 4.5%, untouched and waiting for when I'm ready to buy again next year. My Roth IRA is at $19,826. I added $6,000 of my YouTube income into this account just this month. And if you're wondering how I can still contribute in retirement, it's because YouTube counts as earned income. For 2025, the IRS lets those of us over 50 contribute up to $8,000 a year as long as we have at least that amount in earned income. My HSA sits at $4,288. My pre-tax IRA is at $394,304. And that brings my total portfolio to $559,678, which again includes the $90,000 from my home sale parked in that CD. If I set aside the home equity, my total invested portfolio is about 0.5% lower than last month. But that's because of my regular monthly withdrawals, not market losses. This is exactly what I've planned for, and that works for me. Once I start Social Security around 62, I'll receive about $2,300 a month, which means my withdrawal rate will drop significantly and give my investments more breathing room. I do keep my portfolio conservative on purpose because I value peace of mind and being able to sleep at night. My 3-bucket strategy gives me the flexibility to pull from the right place at the right time without stressing about market swings. Bucket 1 is cash and safety, and it's about 18% of my total portfolio. This is my cushion, several months of living expenses plus an emergency fund. So if my car breaks down or the market dips, I know I have cash ready without touching my investments. Even keeping just 3 to 6 months of expenses in cash can make retirement far less stressful. Bucket 2 is income producing investments, and it's about 52% of my total portfolio. I hold dividend mutual funds, CDs, and bond funds. These generate steady income to help cover my bills without constantly selling my growth investments. This bucket helps make my monthly withdrawals more predictable. Bucket 3 is growth for the long term. It holds about 30% of my total portfolio. Here I'm invested in stock index funds and tech ETFs. I won't touch this for several years, which gives it time to ride out market ups and downs. This is the part that grows quietly in the background. Even in retirement, growth matters. Our money needs to last 20 or 30 years, not just the next few. If you want a deeper dive into how I set up these buckets, I'll link my full breakdown in the description below. And just a reminder, this is what works for me. I am not a financial advisor, so always do your own research before making changes to your portfolio. Something else I never planned for is this channel. We hit 38,000 subscribers and earned $1,600 this month. Honestly, it still feels surreal. I had my retirement all planned before YouTube was even a thought. But this unexpected income stream is kind of like that feeling you get when you find a forgotten $20 bill in a jacket pocket. It is such a nice surprise. It's given me extra breathing room too, whether it's covering regular expenses, paying Lola's $400 vet bill this month, or letting me splurge a little without guilt. And speaking of Lola, she is just fine. She fell off the couch and dislocated her little arm. Thankfully, nothing was broken, and she is okay. She's old and delicate. A lot of you asked what life looks like after selling my house. First, I chose a building with a great reputation, and it's been such a pleasant surprise. The walls are well insulated, so I rarely hear my neighbors. And being on the top floor gives me both privacy and peace. But the best part, my neighbors, they have been amazing. They have been so warm and welcoming. It's like stepping into an instant circle of friends. We've got potlucks, game nights, and even art nights. I feel more connected than I ever expected. And being so close to the bike trails, I am outside every single day. I honestly thought that a year of renting would feel like limbo, waiting for my real retirement to begin once I bought again. But what I've learned is that home ownership isn't the only path to security. Oddly enough, I feel more settled here than I did in my house. And for me, knowing my equity is parked safely in that CD while I figure out what's next has taken so much pressure off. After my last video, I got a lot of questions about why I sold, why I'm renting, and what's next. So let's tackle the biggest questions. First up, a big one I heard over and over. Will you owe capital gains taxes? The short answer is no. Because I lived in my home for at least 2 of the last 5 years, I qualify for the $250,000 primary residence exemption. So there's no tax bill on the sale. That applies to both federal and Virginia state taxes. Another one I kept seeing, will this affect my Medicare premiums? Nope, I'm only 60, and Irma looks at income from 2 years back, so this sale won't affect my premiums at all. A lot of you also asked, why not just buy another house right away? Fair question. For me, it came down to timing. Selling in June let me take advantage of the tail end of a strong seller's market. But right now, my local market is shifting and starting to favor buyers. Renting for a year gives me flexibility and breathing room to find the right house without rushing or overpaying. Plus, I plan to travel a lot over the next year. Renting also means I don't have to worry about burst pipes, break-ins, or squirrels in the attic while I'm away. And yes, all of those things have happened before. And finally, some of you wondered if selling now makes it harder to get a mortgage later. Not at all. Lenders care more about your credit score, income, and assets rather than whether you currently own a home or not. Before I sold, I actually pre-qualified for a mortgage just to be safe and see what the process was. I wanted to make sure I'd have options when I'm ready to buy again. For retirees, the key is showing predictable income flowing into your checking account. That could be Social Security, a pension, or even regular transfers from your investments. Whatever shows steady income can make qualifying so much easier. If you're retired and thinking about selling, it can really help to talk to a lender first. So many of you couldn't imagine renting in retirement, and that's okay. Retirement isn't one size fits all. We all have our own comfort levels, timelines, and priorities. Well, that's August for me. Now I'd love to hear from you. Have you made any financial moves this year, big or small, that made a difference? Drop it in the comments. We all learn from each other here. And let me know what topics you'd like me to cover next. I am always open for suggestions. And if you want to see what real retirement on a modest budget looks like, the wins, the lessons, and the surprises along the way, hit subscribe so you don't miss next month's update.